Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks. Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Continuing Education, Certificate Programs, Certificate in Apparel Merchandising, CAPMER, BHC05 Basics of Apparel Industry and Entrepreneurship, Block 3, Unit-9, Opportunities in Global Markets. 9.0, Objectives. After understanding the essence of market segmentation, target markets and positioning, we are now in a position to explore the opportunities provided by overseas markets and also to acknowledge the shifts in the consumer mindset caused due to globalization. This unit will introduce you to the concept of globalization, the factors behind the winds of change and the consequences of globalization. By the end of this unit, you should be able to A. Understand the shifts in lifestyles occurred due to globalization. B. Explain the role of globalization in distribution network, and C. Compare the domestic and global markets. 9.1, Introduction. No person is untouched by the waves of globalization. It has swept everyone, from a common man to the affluent. We can feel the impact of globalization at every point of time, be it the way we see things around us, the way we eat and spend our leisure time, the way we spend and acquire products and services, the way we work, to name a few. The list is indeed endless. Globalization is everywhere, touching every sphere of our lives. The term global is used when referring to something with worldwide implications. In business, globalization is the integration of international trade and foreign investments, resulting in worldwide trade of merchandise and resources. The boundaries between nations are diminishing and vanishing. The entire world has become a market without boundaries. The buyers can access resources and information about sellers all across the globe and vice versa. They can outsource business processes starting from sourcing of raw materials, production facilities and consulting services, just to name a few. 9.2, Concept of globalization. The world's economy is gradually becoming intertwined. While the borderless global economy has been the goal of some individuals and companies, others have disagreed with this movement. Despite differences of opinions about the implications and consequences of globalization on international trade, we are moving swiftly towards a global economy. With no slowdown in the international trade anticipated, understanding world cultures and economies are essential tools for individuals doing business and providing communication and promotional messages to consumers in the 21st century. Following are the most influential reasons for the shifts to a global perspective in the textile and apparel industries in the 21st century. A. Economic growth. Substantial growth in global economies after World War II sowed the seeds for globalization as it resulted in increasing international trade. Trade increased, if not flourished, as a result of increased consumer spending. Consumers had the means to purchase products from various parts of the world. Keeping this in mind, companies have been able to add capacity with the assumption of sustainable demand from foreign consumers. Moreover, fewer restrictions were levied on imports and exports as a result of collective vision of world economy to liberalize world trade. B. Improved economic status of the developing countries. In recent past, maybe over the last decade, developing nations have been exporting manufactured products such as apparel and other textile products with increased weightage as compared to conventional agricultural exports. These developing nations have taken the initiative to move towards economic and industrialized expansions, especially in the fields of textiles. C. Increased global communication with emerging communication technologies. Communication technologies such as satellite transmissions and fiber optics were introduced in the 20th century, reducing time and distance for international trade. These advances in communication technologies allow importers and exporters to conduct business more quickly than ever before. Video conferencing has been used as a substitute to meetings with physical presence and thus reducing the hassles to travel overseas for trade negotiations. Moreover, Worldwide communication efforts have stimulated demand for products in various parts of the globe where demand never existed before. D. Improved transportation systems. Transportation systems have substantially reduced lead time and transit times. Also, the buyers and sellers can travel to various ends of the globe with ease. E. Institutional initiatives to promote businesses. Various institutional innovations have been implemented to facilitate the exchange of goods and services and the transfer of funds for payment of those goods and services. F. Global lifestyles. With the advent of modern communication tools such as satellite television and World Wide Web, Internet in a modern common phrase, the flow and exchange of information and databases is now a touch away. You ask for any information at any point of time at any given place, you get it on your fingertips and within a blink of eyes with the help of Internet. Consumers stay updated with the latest happenings across the globe with the help of satellite television. This has resulted in consumers becoming more educated and more informed than ever before. They have become liberated from the inadequate choices of products and services provided by the old and conventional communication tools as offered in the past. This has been supported by the ultra-modern and extremely efficient transportation technologies. The consumers now have access to products and services from distributors and retailers from across the globe. They can now order merchandise over the Internet through the websites and e-portals, e-retailing, and e-supplying. This has led to endless choices and freedom from monopoly of domestic distributors and retailers. Globalization in supply chain. Today, companies are able to locate almost anywhere in the world, aided by information technology that vastly increases the speed of transactions across borders. The fashion industry has been reshaped by globalization. A bulk of the production takes place in the developing countries. India and the other countries of the subcontinent share a major portion as production hubs for global retail giants. These retail giants outsource the production activities from India, and many other developing countries are growing at a rapid pace as a production hub and a major competitor of India for global sourcing. This movement has played a major role in the industrialization of the underdeveloped countries. This shift has helped create greater consumer demand for products than ever before. There are many factors which are responsible for India being developed as a manufacturing hub for global retail giants and for most of the top-class designer labels such as Gucci, Giorgio Armani, Christian Dior, Versace, Chanel, Louis Vuitton, Ralph Lauren, Yves Saint Laurent, Prada and DKNY, to name a few. The manpower is cheap and abundant as a result of overpopulation in countries like India and China. People work for lower wages per day as compared to the Western countries. 9.3. Globalization in retailing. Globalization in retailing implies the growing level of awareness and acceptance of global retail brands among the consumers across the globe. Foreign retail brands have become more popular than domestic brands over the last few years. Global giants such as Walmart and Metro are gradually making their presence felt with the ever liberalized trade channels for retailing in India. As a result, the domestic brands and unorganized sector is facing stiff competition and challenge for survival. It is giving rise to price wars and more frequent product amendments and value addition in every possible way. The consumers are enjoying the consequences of globalization in retail sector. 9.4. Global markets versus domestic markets. As already discussed, globalization is pushing domestic players up to the limit of flexibility in terms of pricing and value addition. The consumers are enjoying the ever-increasing benefits and values they are deriving from the retailers. Retailers are facing a dilemma, whether to focus and emphasize on domestic markets or global markets. Moreover, global retailers are outsourcing the production from developing countries like India, irrespective of the location of the retailer. For example, the retailer might be located in USA, but still the production is being based in India. This phenomenon is a result of easy availability and cheap manpower, low land rates and liberalized government policies as applicable to Indian exports. Global sourcing. Apparel industry is labor-intensive. As a result, it has provided a perfect opportunity for the developing countries to move towards industrialization, i.e., developing a manufacturing base for foreign retailers. The boundaries between nations are becoming thinner and free trade is being encouraged throughout the globe by all the governments. Retailers are sourcing finished products from the developing countries because it is economical as a result of abundant population, which results in cheap labor and increased competition among manufacturers. Sourcing options. A firm faces two types of sourcing options, either to source the entire raw materials locally or arrange from global sourcing, i.e., sourcing from foreign countries. The firm can source a part of the materials required domestically, while they can source some raw materials which they think can be a better choice to source from outside. Both the options have their own sets of advantages and disadvantages. The company has to look upon both the options and decide on the best combination, keeping in mind all the parameters which can affect the decision. 9.5 Scope and challenges in global markets. The waves of globalization all across the globe brings along enormous opportunities as well as scope for businesses as well as consumers. It is a mutually beneficial global phenomenon. Consumers benefit in terms of endless options when it comes to evaluation of alternatives across most of the product categories, be it fashion or staple products. Moreover, consumers benefit from the price wars and a battle of sustainability which has resulted due to global retailers entering into the market. Consumers are getting better products than ever before, with added features at the lowest prices. Businesses are benefiting in a number of ways. The retailers who felt stagnant in their domestic markets are expanding rapidly across various countries. Foreign presence for retailers has become a common method for business expansion. By doing so, they are reaching out to consumers all across the globe. With the help of modern communication tools, including World Wide Web and satellite television, these retailers are reaching out to consumers all across the world and spreading awareness, educating the consumers about the product usage, features and benefits, and prompting the consumers to explore more. The global brand presence and brand awareness is resulting in branding being a global phenomenon. Fashion designer brands such as Dior, Armani, Versace and Tommy Hilfiger are known to a majority of consumers who have at least minimum level of brand awareness. Sportswear brands like Nike, Reebok, Adidas and Puma are the most popular brands across the globe. Large format retailers like Walmart, Kmart, Gap, JCPenney and Target are spreading their wings across almost all major cities of the world. Ray-Ban, a brand most renowned for its iconic models such as Aviator and Wayfarers, has a huge fan following all across the world. People are gradually turning to big brands as a symbol of status and prestige. Brand has also become a means for acquiring recognition and acceptability among the consumers' reference groups. The manufacturers are benefiting in terms of outsourcing their production from the developing countries, which is resulting in cheaper production costs and more efficient and hassle-free production. However, along with these endless opportunities and huge benefits for everyone, there comes a lot of challenges. With the ever-expanding number of options being available to the consumers, their expectation levels are rising and new standards are being set every now and then. It is becoming an extremely challenging task for retailers to live up to the ever-increasing customer expectations and the frequently changing standards for product quality, pricing and service levels. Sustainability has become a key issue or challenge to all retailers, be it the unorganized sector or the organized sector of retailing. More and more efforts are being put to make business strategies sustainable on a long run. 9.6 Approaching global markets. Approaching foreign markets, both consumer as well as business markets, is not an easy task to handle. It calls for many strategic decisions regarding the market environment in foreign countries. A retailer would look forward to approaching consumers situated in the foreign countries. In order to target various geographic markets effectively and efficiently, the retailer must give thought to understanding the fact that there exist differences in the needs and wants among consumers with varying geographical origins and locations. Moreover, to add to the complexity, there is a vast difference among the way they perceive things, their shopping behavior, and their evaluating criteria. They assign different weightage to the various parameters such as convenience, their expectations, and perceptions regarding quality of the products. The price sensitivity also varies from country to country and region to region. For example, the consumers from developing nations are more price sensitive than those from developed nations, hence, they would assign different weightage to pricing of the products while taking a purchase decision. Therefore, the pricing strategies have to be different in different countries, keeping in mind their price sensitivities and price implications. Similarly, a standardized product might not be the best fit across all nations. This calls for product modifications while catering to different geographical markets. Even the promotion strategies need to be tailored to fit in and to take care of their priorities. In decision making, the campaigns need to appeal to the target population in that geographic location. This calls for differential positioning strategies for different countries and even at times, for different regions within the same country. Therefore, the retailers must spend appreciable time in understanding the consumer behavior and their expectations. They must spend time to study their cultures, ethnicity, reference groups and other influences in their shopping behavior. While approaching overseas business markets, for example, while approaching retailers located in overseas markets, the manufacturers must understand the trading environment in those overseas countries. Trading environment implies that the set of rules and regulations as applicable to foreign trade in context to the two parties, countries, involved. In today's business scenario, more and more manufacturers are looking for export opportunities to expand their business across the globe and therefore, to earn extra revenue from export business. Since the scope of this course demands to cover business markets in detail, we shall proceed to focus ourselves to understand the market entry strategies from the viewpoint of prospective exporters of finished products, exporters of apparel, to be specific. In simpler words, we shall study in detail how manufacturers of apparel approach foreign markets and how they find and create export opportunities for themselves. Market entry strategies. First step is the collection of relevant information. Selected research methods are used to obtain the additional information, and information is collected from different sources. Information is often needed on environment, including sociological aspects, political and economic stability when potential markets are analyzed. Basically, the information on what markets to enter, the appropriate entry mode in the chosen markets and planned marketing strategy used will include the following. 1. Political, financial and legal data. 2. Data about the basic infrastructure of markets. And 3. Product-specific data. The below-mentioned information are used by the exporters, keeping the above parameters in mind. A. Data on potential customers. B. Identifying agents settled overseas. C. Export opportunities. D. Market reports. E. Information on export payments, transport and distribution. Sources of information. Sources of information can be classified according to internal or external sources. We would focus on external sources for gathering relevant information about foreign markets. External sources can be again subdivided into secondary as well as primary sources. Keeping in mind the scope of this unit in particular, we would discuss in detail the secondary sources of collecting information. There are many alternative ways to gather Required information which can help to penetrate the foreign market. A. Studying trade journals and magazines. B. With the help of World Wide Web and Internet. C. Through export promotion councils and agencies. D. A foreign market consulate or embassy may be contacted in conducting foreign market analysis. E. Visit to foreign markets. F. Visit to international fairs. There are a lot of trade journals and magazines available which can provide important information about the prospective buyers who register their enquiries in these journals and magazines. In today's scenario, there exist a lot of web portals which can be handy in exploring the buying leads in the desired product categories. In the 21st century, all businesses strive to achieve the best use of World Wide Web in all international marketing activities. The 1990s saw the growth of Internet as a quick, efficient, and relatively low-cost means of collecting information. Visit to foreign markets and opening overseas office requires a lot of investment and therefore is a very expensive method to track buyers. But these methods can be very effective if executed in a planned and efficient manner. In-text activity 1. Identify apparel and textile trade fairs organized in India. Visit any one of them and write down your experience in 500 words. Secondary sources of information. Secondary sources will not usually be sufficient, at least, they should not usually be relied upon as a sole source for making international marketing decisions. Moreover, use of secondary data is not without some limitations and potential problems. The major issues are data reliability and comparability. A serious word of caution about the Internet. There is variance among the sites in Internet regarding accuracy and completeness of the information provided. Updating is not always done regularly. Hence, data available on Internet may not be reliable always. Nevertheless, available data from secondary sources should be collected, processed, analyzed, and interpreted, so that they can serve as a background for further research. Often the problem of international marketing will not be the availability of data, but selecting, evaluating, interpreting and using the data that is already available.
Trade fairs and shows. The main thrust of market entry strategy should be to ensure strong relationship with importers or agents. The prospective exporter locates an initial trade enquiry through participation in trade fairs and shows, studying trade journals and magazines and visiting websites. Participation in trade fairs is one of the oldest forms of promotion of exports. Trade fairs provide an opportunity to the exporters to display their products to large number of buyers or their representatives who visit the fairs. It is a place where a large number of buyers and sellers meet to exchange their requirements. Selection of right kind of trade fairs to visit would provide the exporters with a tremendous opportunity to explore the prospective buyers from all across the globe. A large number of textile and apparel trade fairs take place all across the world throughout the year. However, it is not practically possible to target and attend all the major trade fairs. It is therefore important to shortlist the most relevant and major fairs to participate. The role of export promotion councils. Export promotion councils play a major role in guiding the prospective exporters. Help can be received from these bodies in various forms, ranging from locating appropriate markets and countries, locating prospective buyers in those countries, understanding the foreign trade environment, relations between the two countries, communication of ideas, export documentation and procuring export finance, to name a few. Let us briefly learn about a few of them. APC, Apparel Export Promotion Council, was incorporated in 1978. AEPC is the official body of apparel exporters in India that provides invaluable assistance to Indian exporters as well as importers, international buyers who choose India as their preferred sourcing destination for garments. EPCH, Export Promotion Council for Handicrafts, was established under Companies Act in the year 1986 to 87 and is a non-profit organization with an objective to promote, support, protect and increase the export of handicrafts. Other promotion councils such as CEPC, Carpet Export Promotion Council, CLE, Council for Leather Exports, PDEPC, Powerloom Development and Export Promotion Council, JPDAPC, Jute Product Development and Export Promotion Council, Texprocil, the Cotton Textiles Export Promotion Council of India. ISEC, the Indian Silk Promotion Council, SRTEPC, the Synthetic and Rayon Textiles. Export Promotion Council, Wool and Woolen Export Promotion Council and Wool. Industry Export Promotion Council are also working for the promotion of exports. Check your progress. 3. 1. What points should a retailer keep in mind while approaching consumers in different countries? 2. What is the purpose of trade fairs for the exporters? 3. Which information should an exporter collect before entering any new market? 9.7. Let us sum up. The world has become a global market where both the consumers as well as the businesses are an integral part of it. Globalization is a mindset for consumers to adopt global lifestyles. This mindset attracts retailers to establish a global presence. As more and more retailers open their stores in other countries and spread the promotion campaigns to these countries, this in turn gives more and more exposure to consumers. This is a coupled effect where one cause leads to its effect and vice versa. As a result of this cause and effect relationship, both retailers as well as the consumers are being benefited. Retailers are minting more money than ever before and consumers are being offered an array of choices along with more competitive prices and added benefits and features. This globalized world has also opened doors for better trade relations between nations. This trade liberalization has resulted in outsourcing of finished products from developing countries. Developing countries have become a hub for manufacturing of apparel and other textile products as a result of abundant and cheap manpower and facilities. Future is indeed bright for developing countries if they can take due advantage of this gate of opportunities open to them in form of job work from foreign retailers. 9.8 Keywords. Globalization, a process by which businesses develop international influence or start operating on an international scale. Levied, impose. Export, to send goods services to another country for sale. Import, to bring goods services into country from abroad for sale. Lead time, the time between the initiation and completion of a production process. Transit time, the time required for the goods to traverse the distance between two specified points. Satellite, an artificial object which has been intentionally placed into the orbit. Liberalized trade, a trade where there are no or less restrictions on free exchange of goods between nations. Promotion strategies, a plan of action designed for publicizing a product. Organization venture. Consulate or embassy, one country's main diplomatic office in another country. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next video with the next chapter.